Hey, here's my video from the Villars World Cup. I really enjoyed competing in this World Cup. It was an absolutely incredible event. Villars is such a great place. There was some really big fields on both the men's and the women's side. It was so surreal competing against these people. It doesn't quite sink in that I'm actually in that kind of field. I've got photos from many years ago where I'm sat next to them after their comps, almost being a little bit of a fanboy. So it's nice to be in that kind of mix and competing against these legends of the sport. So I really hope you enjoy the video. So playing, done this walk many times. Go down there, there'll be a pret down there, turn left. Bit of a walk down there, and then we'll be sat in the gate, probably waiting for a delay. I've just woken up in Villars. It was a pretty easy trip over, just a quick flight to Geneva and just an hour-and-a-half drive over to Villars. It's quite mountainous here, we're quite high up. It's a really cool place. Yeah, it looks like a really cool city, so I'd like to do some exploring a bit later. Very picturesque. Since Innsbruck, it's pretty much just been a lot of rest and a bit of training. I've been at home trying to recharge the batteries. It's been really nice to spend some time just properly chilling out and not worrying about any competitions. I really find that when I get back home, I start recovering so quickly. So yeah, like a small turnaround there and I'm back in Switzerland and feeling really good. My body after Innsbruck, after that semi-final route where I powered out, was just telling me, just go back and rest. You've had so many comps, you just need to chill out for a bit. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm gonna go out there and my body's gonna be feeling good and ready to compete, but I'm just so psyched to get back on the scene. I've not actually been off for that long, but it's already like, yeah, you just build up so much psych, sat there doing nothing and you just wanna go and compete. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Walking to warm up. Yes, about a 10-minute walk from the venue, so just gonna do more warm up and then head over there. I'm climbing quite late, so gonna see how it goes, how fast the route's going, and gauge how long I need to warm up for. So the routes look really good. I'm really psyched, but yeah, just gonna go and give it everything. First up was qualies, and that was a rainy day for sure. Looking at the forecast the night before, it said 15 to 20 millimeters of rain throughout the day, and yeah, it definitely lived up to that. It was a wet day, a little bit miserable, but it's qualies, it's a bit of a grind. Everyone's got long waits between their routes, so yeah, that day was definitely a bit of a grind, but we got through it. Just before my qualification route, about 10-20 minutes before, the heavens absolutely opened, and yeah, the rain gods just descended down on Villars. Route 1, it was very physical, kind of big holds, big moves, very much in my style. It starts off quite easy, then goes up into a weird palm section, which I've had a lot of practice on. Yeah, that was a weird move which you had to get past, but not too bad. Most people got past it. And going up through there were some crimps, and then into a bit more of a physical section with like a big undercut up to a sloper, big move out, and that was kind of a hard section. You had some falls there, and then you get a bit of a rest with a nice toe hook. I managed to like properly go back and relax and get a bit of energy back. And then up to the head wall. There's a really hard move, just a couple moves after that, where you have to sit on a heel and then you've got to bump and then bump again. A lot of people were lost there. I managed to get through that, and then into the top section I was feeling really good, managed to get a really good rest on one of the top holds, and then it ended up falling off on the finish hold whilst clipping, which was not whilst clipping, but I had the finish hold and I couldn't quite get up into it where I to find a stable position to clip, so that meant that I fell off. But I was feeling really good and more of like a slight beta inaccuracy, I think. I'm walking for a cloud. I've just finished route 1 and it went really well. I fell with the last hold in my hands and I couldn't quite get up into it where you could find a stable position to clip the chains. But I'm really happy, I felt really good. Just came back here, had a couple of hours, so I had a cup of tea, chilled out, did a bit of stretching, preparing for route 2. So I'm going to go down there now. I think I've got about an hour until I go on to that. This one looks really feisty, proper power endurance, my kind of thing, so looking forward to giving it my best go. Just about to pull on for route 2 and someone threw a load of water over the mat. It's quite funny. So I was getting ready, I look at my shoes and I go, oh my god, they're soaking wet. I don't want to get on the route with soaking wet shoes. So I kind of sit there, contemplate for a second, not really understanding what's just happened. And then I start drying my shoes, it's not coming off, there's a lot of water on there. So I just take a nice leisurely sit down, get my towel, go over my shoes, get them nice and dry, as the last thing you want to be doing is pulling onto a World Cup route with a damp shoe and then just pinging off on the first move. So yeah, I had to stay composed during that and then got through that, and yeah, it was a good experience. Route 2 was really relaxed. I basically knew from my result on the first route and how many climbers had gone out that I was pretty much in the semi-final, which was nice. So going out to that, I could really enjoy it, relax, and then just give my all on it. In qualifications, a lot of the times you're trying to you're almost trying to pull a bit more than you should to guarantee you get into the semi-final. So coming out to this route, I just properly relaxed and went, right, just climb it. It was a really nice route, proper power endurance. Going through the start is quite easy, and then you get up into a really strange, crimpy, pockety section, which lost a lot of people actually. There were a lot of people who made some inaccuracies in the beta, is a bit powerful, but got through that a bit smoothly. And then up into the more physical section of the route, there was a different beta which I used. Instead of going out and then dropping under into an undercut and then up, I skipped out the undercut and then went a big bump again. I saw Alex Megos try that and then thought, yeah, I'll give that a go as well. So I got there and thought, feeling good. So I did the bump again, which was maybe a bit more powerful, but I was feeling good and it's less moves, so can't be too bad. And then going through that, I felt really good. Then into the head wall is where it really started to kick in. The holds got really small, but I was still feeling pretty good. Got a really weird drop knee sort of rest clip. I don't even know what you call that move. And then into the hard head wall moves. There was a moment where I was properly chicken winging on the top of that route for a proper 10-20 seconds trying to figure out the move. It was set as a go again, like that, but I didn't want to do that because that's too risky. So I sat there for a bit longer. I knew that I was in the semi-final by this point. I knew that a lot of people had fallen there, and then only Ondra, I think, had 41, and then everyone else was on 40 plus. So I tried to get round to 41. I got really close. I managed to match into this one, which wasn't the beta, and then just lost it going out as I hung around there for a bit too long and wasn't decisive enough. But really happy with my routes with my climbing qualifying, and hopefully I can replicate it in the semi-final. I'm really excited and yeah, going to give it everything.
Good enough, right? Good enough? Yes. Fantastic, it's good. That's Toby, that's good. Way to go, Toby! Yeah!
I've just got back from qualifications. It went really well. I've qualified in 3rd place. I really enjoyed both of the routes, really physical power endurance type routes. What was also really nice is that where I fell off, I felt I still had a bit left, and it was more of kind of some beta mistakes. So good to know my fitness is there going into the semi-final. The rest was definitely needed, and now I'm feeling really good. So psyched for the semi-final. Hopefully I can make it through to finals. I'll give it my best shot. I'm hoping for a really hard physical route, similar to qualifications today. Yeah, hopefully see what the set has got in store. Breakfast, catching up with the F1. I'm really into my F1, so I'd like to catch up on the races and stuff. I'm always in isolation for the F1 races, which is really annoying, but yeah, I just normally catch up after the race. The walk to ISO was straight up a hill at altitude, like 10 minutes, just straight up a hill, and I feel like I've already finished for today, honestly. It's quite an intense workout. Might need to start doing some cardio, but yeah, feeling good, ready to go and climb. Just gonna head to ISO now. Time for semi-finals. I was qualified pretty high up. I qualified in 3rd place. I was out 24th going into the semi-final. A bit of a longer wait in isolation, but coming out for the semi-final route and observation period, it looked really good. It looked really kind of power endurance, quite secure up until the last kind of section of the route. It started on some pretty juggy yellow jugs really, and then you get up into some Rock City volumes with jibs on them. I think they're Rock City, and that bit was quite steady. It's just getting you kind of pumped for the upper bit. There was a bit of a 360 move which I did. I don't think many people did it like that, but that's the way I got there and thought was best, and I got through that smoothly. And then you're into the harder section. So you go up through some mint super holds, which were pretty physical, and you had like a cross under move and then into another big move out, and this was just really physical. It was in the steepest part of the wall, and then you compress through some big volumes with little jibs on them, and then you're up into the head wall. So you do a big move out into a mint hold, and then you pull up onto the head wall onto the first Rock City pinch, and this was kind of where you look up and go, okay, I'm on the head wall now. I need to change my style of climbing. I need to go from pulling really hard to relaxing a bit more and getting in the flow of head wall climbing. So going up through some pretty bad Rock Cities, after a big left heel hook up, I get a bit of a rest, and then this is into the hard section where I think it was 32 plus. A lot of climbers were lost. So I get into 32 plus, I get a big heel hook up, I kind of rest a bit, which knowing that I haven't gone for the hold, I haven't got 33, so I wasn't in finals at this point, so I take a bit of a rest. I get 33, I don't know I'm in finals, but I hear a cheer from the crowd, and then I'm into the fighting stages. I'm pretty pumped at this point. I set myself up for a really tricky move. It's a big jump out right to a blind hold where you can't really see. You have to jump out, hit that, and then stab the foot, and I set myself up for that, and then just before I'm about to go, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go, no, I'm gonna cross over into this really bad crimp. It's like a 6mm crimp, 3 fingers. I cross into that to try and do the move statically. I just get out to the volume, but I don't quite make the bump again to the jib. So yeah, I fall there. Probably used a lot more energy than I needed to. I was really happy to make the lead final. I've made a couple finals before, but making finals is still just, the fields are so stacked, it's such a big deal. So for me personally, coming down, I was just such a relief. It was such a huge rush of emotions that I've just made finals again. It's my first final of this Lead World Cup season. Innsbruck didn't go exactly how I wanted to do, so it was really nice to turn it around and then make the finals, and I was just so psyched. I feel like making finals is just such a big deal for every single competitor. If you're making finals and you're not feeling that huge kind of buzz, then yeah, why are you really doing it? That's why those moments are why you do all the training. I'm really psyched for finals. I'm going to give it everything, hoping for a hard power endurance route. I'm just really enjoying the routes at the moment, and yeah, going through every round is feeling really nice, and I can't wait to have another go on finals. The warm-up wall in isolation is a 5-minute bus ride to the venues. So after observation, I was sat in the bus with Ondra somehow talking about schoolroom climbs in the Sheffield schoolroom, just talking about board climbs and stuff. It was just such a surreal and strange experience to be suddenly sat on the back of the bus waiting to go to finals with Adam Ondra talking about board climbs on the school board. It was such a great experience. He's a really, really nice guy. Just talking about all the different World Cups, our preparations, what our training's looking like, how his time in Sheffield was. Yeah, it was just a really nice experience and great to get to know him a bit better. Yeah, I'm really happy with the Instagram follow I got. That's a good follower to get, Adam Ondra. Like, oh, doesn't get much better than that. Just looking at the finals field, it was like properly international and stacked. You got Ondra, Schubert, Megos, the two Japanese guys who I get on really well with, Matsushima and Sorata, and then you got Ep8 and Colin Duffy. So it was really an international field, incredibly strong climbers. Yeah, just insane to be in that field, and so psyched to go and give it everything. It's quite funny because whilst it feels like it's all running smoothly and the athletes bit, and outside is absolute pure chaos. You've got a security woman who's just absolutely not having it. You've got all the coaches trying to get into the coaches pit to do all of their calculations and what they usually do, and she was just sat there going, "No, you're not coming in." And there's quite a funny video of all the coaches there, that the Japanese coach trying to like direct her attention and run by. So that's a quite funny moment. Yeah, the video of that's quite funny. With all the coaches just sat out there and this woman just going, "No." She was doing her job, fair play. It's good to be tight on security and stuff. So, but yeah, just quite a funny little piece. On to finals. I qualified in 5th position, so I was out 4th. Going out first was Ep8 from China, and then it was on to Shion Amata, then Alex Megos, then me. I remember us being sat there, and Megos was climbing, and I was sat there for quite a long time waiting for my go. So I knew that he was getting quite high up, and then he came down after a while, and then it was my go. So the route starts out on some pretty good holds, and then you have a really sketchy move quite low down where I was a bit hesitant, and in the end I had to stick a heel hook on and then do a big reach up, and then a bit of a jump, which no one really expected it to be that hard, but talking to the competitors after, it actually turned out it was quite a sketchy move. So do that, and then you go into some really big white slopers, which is not too hard but very physical. So going through them, I'm trying to conserve energy, but also you've got to pull hard because you don't want to slip off or anything. So go through these white slopers, and I'm feeling pretty good, and then I get up into a big go again to a black pinch, black or red pinch, and then it's into the jump move. So this jump move, we were looking before the comp going, wow, that looks pretty big. That yellow bucket must be pretty good that you jump to. So I set myself up for that. I go left hand to the crimp. I'm hesitating a bit. I probably shouldn't be hesitating, but I really didn't want to drop it here. So I tried to almost go statically, realized that it's just a bit too far. And then in the end, I just go, okay, you got to go for this. So I go for it. I do control the movement quite a lot. I keep the left hand on, and then I hit the massive bucket, and I'm like, oh yes, I've hit it well. And yeah, I take the swing, and then I get a good rest there. I get my heel hook above my hand, and then rest there for a minute or two, and really try and recover some energy. it's a really good rest, but you can't stay there for too long because you've got a 6-minute time limit, and I didn't want to have any chance of timing out or anything. So I get my rest in, I'm feeling pretty good, and then I go through these 2 white crimps, and then into a physical section. There's a big shouldery move into a black volume with a jib on. I come up into that, flip it, right hand up and over, and then you're into the real cruxy part of this route. So you got some white jibs on black volumes, and then you're heading out left. It's a bit of a traverse out left. So you do a move to a white jib, and then come in, go out, and then you get a nice heel hook out left, which is quite a nice heel actually, where you can flip your right hand, and then you got a big move going over the head wall. This move's quite hard. You got to trust the heel a lot. You got to get there and then go for it. I hit that quite well, and then it's onto the head wall, and this head wall looked so hard. We were all talking about it in observation, how hard the head wall looked. So I do the bump over the head wall, and then I go right hand to quite a bad crimp, and then this is a really tricky cross under, which I was quite happy because I read that from the start, which previously I might have missed, but I get a really big drop knee, cross under. This move is really hard, and then I come out to an intermediate and I do that move, and I feel like, wow, that's hard. I managed to clip there, and now I'm really pumped, and I'm looking up, and it's a big move to a red pinch. I'm like, oh, maybe I don't have enough power for this right now. So I try and get a bit of a rest in. I've got the clip in, I'm resting there, and I'm like, oh, I'm not really recovering much here. So in the end, I look at it and go, okay, I got to go for this. I'm losing power, and I slap up, and I don't quite hit the red pinch, and unfortunately I fall there, which was second place at the moment. What's really nice about when you finish your climb is you get to sit down with all the other competitors and just watch everyone else climb. It's so nice. We were all sat there discussing beta, what we did, where we fell, and it's so relaxed. Everyone's so supportive. And I got to sit there and watch these legendary climbers have their attempts on this incredibly hard route, and I've basically got front row tickets to watching them, and it's just incredible to watch that. And I'm really psyched for Jakob to take home the win. It was so great to watch. He's such a nice guy and just so incredibly strong. He's got no signs of backing off. He's a force to be reckoned with, and I'm really psyched that he got his win to make him the man with the most gold medals. I think 20 gold medals Jakob's got now, so that's just incredible. It was great to watch, and yeah, really psyched for him. Don't get me wrong, it was great to see the podium of Jakob, Ondra and Megos, but I wanted to be up on that podium. I wanted to be up disrupting that trio, but it wasn't to be this time. But I'm really psyched, and yeah, I just can't wait to get back competing again, because that's where I do it. I love climbing, I love competing, and yeah, I love to get good results. What was really cool is after I finished my climb, I watched everyone else try their routes, and it just really showed me that I have so much to learn. I look at them on their routes and I go, okay, they executed that a lot better than me. They climbed that route a lot better. They got the maximum out of their physical condition on that route, and I didn't, I don't think. So there's so much to learn still, and I've got a few pointers to take into Chamonix. I really need to be more confident on moves and execute climbs like I know I can do them. There's been a lot of times where I've lost a lot of power on the route, just hesitating and kind of not committing for moves. And watching those top guys get on it and execute and not hesitate, it's just so great to watch. And I've really taken a lot of pointers from that. There's always so much to learn, because you could feel really good in training, but when you get onto the routes, if you hesitate and you're not confident, then you won't be able to take those performances from training, because those performances in training are in a relaxed environment. No one's really watching, it's just you and the route, and that's what you really have to try and replicate in these competitions. You do just have to look at it as a route, and you're going to get on that route and you're going to execute, and try and take out all of this other stuff which is going on in your mind, like all of these people are watching, this is everything, I've put so much into this competition, I don't want to mess it up. You just need to think of every move as the move. Just take it move by move basically, and then that's how you find yourself on the top of podiums hopefully. So really psyched to try and take those pointers from Villars and then execute in Chamonix. It's always hard to come fourth knowing that the podium's so close, but coming out of Villars, I really know that that was a solid performance in a really strong field, and I'm really psyched to see how I can improve on that, because I do feel there are a lot of improvements that I can make from this competition. So Chamonix is only in a week, and I'm really excited to get on some more routes. Chamonix is an awesome place. The wall looks incredible. What's really important during these competitions where you've got comps back to back, week to week, is that you're not detraining. If you go through all of the rounds, then it can be okay and you can train almost in the competition. So after Villars finished, I went straight to Lausanne to get a good training session in on Sunday, and it was good to get some good training in after Villars. There's some really cool moves. I put in a lot of good routes, good training routes, and yeah, that should keep me well topped up for Chamonix. It was a really hard session. I think I tried 10 to 15 routes of 8B to 8C, so it was great to get some good training in and get the arms hurting. And that was in perfect timing to allow me to get some really good hard training in, but also leave enough time to rest before Chamonix, so I'm not taking tiredness into the competition. As soon as I get back from Chamonix, I've got a lot of training workshops and stuff planned before Bern World Championships. So it's really important that I'm not doing all these competitions and then losing a lot of power and fitness. So getting this training in has been really important, and I feel like I did that well after Villars, so I'm happy with that. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next week in Chamonix. I'll do my best.